Okay, so we're back on. So, all right, you're gonna have to help me out with the pronunciation of this. It's the Nagorno-Karabakh War. Is that correct?
It's Nagorno-Karabakh.
Karabal. Okay.
Karabakh.
Okay.
Karabakh.
My tongue doesn't do that, but I'll try. Nagorno
Just say
Karabakh.
Bag. Bag.
Bog?
Bag.
Is that kind
Yeah, the
of
last.
is that just kind of the how they say it, how it's
It's a
said?
garden.
Okay. The bog. I like that though. The bog. That sounds pretty. I don't know. It just sounds kind of cooler that way, you know.
Starship Troopers, the
Yeah.
bog.
Or like during Mogadishu, they called it the Moog. You know,
The Mog.
That was the nice way of putting
But
it.
you can say just Karabakh. Just say Karabakh. You know,
Karabag,
that's the short word. Karabakh.
Karabag. Okay, all right. But yeah, so we're gonna chat about that tonight. For people who are jumping on,
Well, to be clarified, I'm not from that region though. Like David, he told me to come as what you say as a Muslim. What the Muslim people have point of view of that situation. You know, why we supporting that?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I'm a Pakistani myself, right?
uh huh.
So we are like too far away. We don't share the same culture, same values, or something. You know.
Oh yeah,
But yeah,
yeah. Like I was
but
telling him,
we have kind of those similarities between us. You know. So
yeah, you guys share a religion.
yeah, we share a religion, and we have those kind of like they're too moderate. Azeris, to be honest, they're too moderate. Like I cannot even go with that shit the way they are. You know, they're too like in my region with me. I'm not that religious though, but like in my culture, we cannot go the way Azeri goes. You know, they're super cool people.
Okay,
Like
yeah, they're a little more, I guess,
liberals. That's what you can say.
liberal, but they also they were
Westernized, maybe.
maybe not westernized, but they were
Well,
a part of the
they,
Soviet
they
Union for a long time,
Soviet Union. Yeah,
and
but
that changed that pulled them a lot away from their traditional religions, and they're probably just gaining.
no, it's that region.
Uh huh.
They're kind of open-minded, you know,
Uh huh.
like to understand us, you know. Most of the Muslim regions they consider of tribal areas, right? Like once, if you go back
Let's
long time
let's
ago,
hold on to this.
that's
Let's
actually people.
let's hold on to this thought for a second. I'm going to play the
Yeah.
intro music, and then we'll start the show. I'd like to dig into this on the show. Back in. All right. So uh, Dave, is everyone knows, is very passionate about this war that's going on, um, uh, between Azerbaijan and, I guess, kind of Armenia right now, and so Dave went out and found us a guest to kind of explain explain the Muslim side of the war, I guess, or to try to shed a little light on it. So we'll let Dave go ahead and introduce him. And
So I've been in this chat room. I explore multiple chat rooms about art sock. I think it's a pretty fascinating situation when you have a small micronation trying to explore the idea of being recognized and becoming a country, especially in a modern era that we live in. And right now there's a war between Azerbaijan and Artsakh in Armenia, and it's being influenced by players like Turkey and Russia. And for some reason, found a lot of Pakistanis with an opinion about the Azerbaijan Artsakh conflict. So here with us today we have Saim, and he's from Pakistan, but he's got a fantastic Eastern accent. So you might kind of recognize that Pennsylvania come out of him once in a while when he
Yeah,
says
when he
a few
says
words.
when he says Eastern, he means Eastern United States accent.
Right, right. And you too, Saim. You got quite the accent there for a Pakistani. I've known a lot of Pakistanis, and they don't have accents like
Yeah.
that. So
Well, I lost my cherry, to an American girl back in UK. So
An
even
American
in UK,
girl in
I
the
was
UK.
like in UK,
Nice.
I wasn't that much close to British people as to North American, like Canadians and um, American people. And we used to go, like I was involved in politics over there in my university, and we used to go anti-British. We used to do anti-British politics in United Kingdom
Yeah.
with all the Europeans and North Americans. Like we had that thing. So and I was just 17, so I was exploring myself. So I've like that accent suits me. So yeah.
Nice.
well, you
Nice.
pull it off, man. You pull it off.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
all right. I'll try to give a brief synopsis. Okay. Say the name of the war, the short name again for me, would you, Simon? Can you hear me? Oh, he might have froze up. Anyways,
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry.
okay. yeah, we're getting some well, you're in Pakistan, so we're talking through satellites and across well, you're exact
Connection.
yeah, exact opposite of us. But what's the name of the war again? If you can hear me, what's the name of the war again?
The conflict.
Yeah. All right. Maybe he can't hear us very well, but he'll hop back on. But so the name of the war is
I have
Nagorno.
been there, and it's a very. I'm having this connection problem.
Yeah. All right. So to boil it down, what it is at the fall of the Soviet Union, a sliver on the eastern side of Azerbaijan broke away and gained independence from Azerbaijan, and then kind of gained protectorate from Armenia. Oh, he's okay. He'll be jumping back on. Gained protectorship from Armenia. Azerbaijan is there's a war going on now. Azerbaijan is, I guess, trying to gain that territory back, and Armenia is trying to maintain that territory as their protectorate. And that's it. I know you probably missed a little bit of that, Saim.
Yeah.
So, what's the name of the conflict again?
Well, the region is Nagorno-Karabakh, and historically, if you see that, it was a tribal land, and the real issue started after 1920, when Azerbaijan was under USSR at that time, and this region was previously occupied by Iran, actually, and then they had that a war in 1920, and at that time, Azerbaijan, they had it was they captured that area at that time. Like they took back it, because before that they were saying, like I was studying, like I was researching the whole thing, and like Armenians and Azeris, they used to come like they're, if you say they're from the same extended families, all right, they're a Turkish tribe. Azeris basically the Turkic people, right? And they, like, since centuries they were having these wars, and sometimes there used to be a puppet Karabakh, you say a kingdom of Ottomans as well, so it was a battleground for centuries at that time. So what happened was it was a part of Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan. Then the Armenians used to live there. Like they had their, what you say, ethnically they were Armenians over there. So in USSR they get that back. In short, to be short, they get that back, and then the whole thing was, what you say, like it was a part of Azerbaijan, but with the majority of Armenian, ethnically Armenian people over there. So well, fast forward, Soviet Union broke off, and then they had a war, like because what happened, it was internationally recognized by the international community as a part of Azerbaijan, but Armenian people local over there, they revolted. So to help them, Armenian army came off, to help them, and they drove off the Azeri army at that time, and they got defeated pretty bad at that time because, well, Azerbaijan wasn't that much, what you said, developed at that time.
Yeah, they
So
just
since then,
Azerbaijan just started to develop in the last 12 years
yeah,
when a pipeline started.
exactly.
Azerbaijan, not necessarily just a pipeline, it kind of became a it became a international marketplace for international sales. Is really Azerbaijani's kind
Yeah.
of development came through at. So,
And now it's a tourist hotspot.
hmm
Um, like before, people used to go in that region. If you want to party, we go to Dubai or Thailand. Okay. But now we go to Azerbaijan, and they're pretty hospitable people, amazing food, everything. Like it's so flashy. Like it's if you see the buildings, you'll be amazed what they're
kind of
doing with that. Like how they're so developed and all that. So yeah, exactly your point. That pipeline. The real reason of this war is that pipeline, because what's happening is um, that pipelines take the oil through Georgia to Turkey and all that region. And what's happening is, like, they want stability in that region. So what was happening? Azerbaijan government and Armenians were having peace talk over this thing, and there was this Minsk group, France, Russia, and another country. They were negotiating between these two parties. So in 2007, they were nearly on the agreement, but yeah, like the point of Azerbaijan is that this is part of our region. It's it's globally recognized region, and what happened was Armenia interfered in our sovereignty. And if you go by it, like full stop, that's a part of Azerbaijan. Like that region belongs to Azerbaijan as per international rules and regulation, which all our countries, like my country, your country, we go by United Nations resolutions and everything. So what happened was, like, Armenians helped them, Armenian government helped them to get out of that region. Like they kicked back the Azeris back in '91. So the war ended, I guess, in '94. So since then there was a ceasefire, and they were having peace talk, but nothing came of. So what happened with Azerbaijan? Why this war happened? Because Azeri people, the local people, they were feeling humiliated. Like, this is a part of our land, and it's still, we being nice people, we coming to the table, like everybody's mocking us, and that's our place, no matter who lives there. But if you go by the plebiscite of United Nations, it's their place. It's Azerbaijan. That's part of like Azeri people's place. So what exactly happened was, like, the pressure of people was so much on Azeri government, they had to go war on that because it was a matter of dignity. So that exactly what I feel like, because in Baku there was a huge demonstration. Like people barged into the parliament. They just go into the parliament. Police was fighting them off. And people were saying, "Go to war." like get our land back. So
That's
that's the situation. If you go neutrally.
the way I look at it, I have no political affiliation at all. I'm an anarchist. I I see that as a very expensive way to try to gain back some pride. Is the loss of life and the taking of life to try to gain back some pride, and then speaking as a U.S. citizen, all these wars, they never end. You go in and commit to these wars, and they just keep rolling and rolling and rolling and costing, and eventually the government loses the mandate over the people because of them. A lot like our nation has lost its mandate over the people. Our government has lost a lot of its credibility, not just around the world, but here in the United States. And I don't. That's just my personal feelings on it.
And I'm curious.
Yeah, like, sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
That's what's gonna happen in this conflict as well. You know, it's gonna be a stalemate.
And
Like,
it's just
nothing is happening. You know, people are killing on both, being killed on both sides. You know, and they're suffering. You know, like Azerbaijan, they're also like suffering because it was in we say relatively doing very good in commercial wise, and now everything is at a standstill over there.
and then
But the
they're
real
just
thing about the honor, you know, in our culture, like the Americans cannot understand that. In our culture, you know, there is this a feeling called honor, you know, and there's dignity. Like if somebody like in a tribal society, like no matter how modernized we are, but we come back from like our history goes back to the tribes, you know. So all these wars used to happen just because of the land. Like this is my area, you cannot come into my area, you know. Like if somebody is there in my area, I'm gonna go try to get them out of my area, you know. It's is our mentality. And if a chieftain of a tribe could not do nothing, they used to call him like a pussy. You know?
yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, and the chieftain used to be voted down. You know, like he used to be like they took power from him and give to another chieftain because it's not the religion. Like in this war, it's not the religion. It's the culture.
I hear you there. I've studied history quite a bit, and these tribal wars. I think you're like you said, it's a tribal thing, and I think it's a historical memory of that tribe. And I think the further away you get from that, the more you nationalize. But we had tribal wars in the United States up until World War I, and then a whole dictionary of words, and I mean, everything was invented to eliminate those tribal wars. And I mean, so
I've never heard about tribal wars in U.S. Like,
yeah.
I mean, like the Indians versus the white people, or are you talking about
Indian
Democrats
versus
versus Republicans?
Irish versus Italians, Burrows versus Burrows.
Those were clans, just like tribes. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just like tribes. We had those, and if you ever study the build up to World War I, the invention of the word Caucasian. I'm not from the Caucasus. I don't know if any of my people are from the Caucasus, but I'm Caucasian.
Yeah, exactly.
They grouped everyone with lighter skin under one word, right? And called us Caucasian. My family's genetically English and Norwegian. Those are my genetics. Maybe a little Italian or whatever splashed in, but nowhere in there is the Caucasus. Caucasus are a lot further east and south of
just a little bit north of Azerbaijan is the Caucasus, and the majority of people over there are Muslims.
Yeah, Azerbaijani, Azerbaijani are Caucasian.
And they're
Cyrus,
Turkic. Caucasus is a region like this
Mhm.
Caucasus Mountains, you know.
Well, yeah, it's the mountains.
Uh,
Cyrus the Great
yeah,
was Caucasian.
Chechnya and Caucasia and all that, you
Yeah,
know.
and
So and people over there, the habitat of Caucasia is Turkic people, you know,
mhm.
from Habib.
Yeah, well,
He's from that region.
the genetically Turkic people come from the steppe. They're
Yeah.
Scythians and well, maybe the Huns. We still don't know much about the Huns,
The Huns were some freaky people. They had like
but we do
elongated
believe
heads.
that the Turkic people are genetic descendants from the Huns, which we believe were descendants from the Scythians. So they're steppe people,
Well,
horse archers. You
yeah,
know,
step exactly to concise them, you know,
Mhm.
step people, you know, Turkic. They the Turkish people they come from Oghuz Khan, you know,
mm-hmm.
and from him there was 10 tribes, you know, and they're scattered from all over this region, you know.
Yeah. Well,
And Mongols, they are not Turkic
Mongols,
people. Mongols are
Mongols,
totally different, but they have the similar,
they're
what
from
you
the
say,
steppe.
similarity of the steppe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're from the eastern steppe. That's where they're from.
yeah,
It was
but
said
there's, yeah.
Genghis Khan. One of the writings about him said he had cat eyes, green eyes. So we don't know. We know that's a long time
Yeah.
ago. No one knows where he's buried. So
So,
Well, the Romans used to look at the Germans and make fun of them as barbarians. They'd say ba 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 ba. That's how they
that's
speak.
Greek, actually. The Greeks started the barbarian word.
Did they? Well, the Romans didn't like the Germans either. So,
No, well,
but now they're all like Caucasian, right? Yeah, just like you said. And it seems like we're all like heading into one direction. That oneness.
that was for World War I, to unite us to go to a European world war.
Mm-hmm.
They changed the language to unite us. So they did away with Irish, Italian, English, and back then you had Welsh, you had Scottish. They made it all one word so that they could unite us to go to war on the Europe continent.
yep.
Because they otherwise, I mean, the nation was tearing itself apart in 1914 over the thought of it.
So in Armenia, though, they're a Christian country, and Azerbaijan is a Muslim country. Now,
Yep.
Artsakh, the middle ground that they're fighting over, I'm assuming that's kind of like a very mixed region, though, correct?
In mixed region, in what sense? Sorry, I didn't get.
Mixed dual religion, part Muslim, part Christian.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That region, if you,
and
but
Azerbaijan
if you
is
see
also a mixed nation. Azerbaijan has a lot of Christians in it.
a lot of Christians over there.
Yeah, and I'm sure Armenia has a lot of Muslims because right there you're in the.
No, in Armenia, a lot of there used to be Azeri people over there, but after the war, like in 1920, like most of them moved toward Azerbaijan.
Oh, so
So
they left.
like
They regrouped.
like there are only, I guess, less than 1% over there, but they got Druze over there. They got Yazidis over there.
Yazidis,
two-
Druze.
Yeah, Druze, I guess they got there. And
Don't
then,
Alawites also live around that area as well?
Yeah, I guess so. There are some Alawites as well.
Alawites is a very interesting sect because of where they were located. They picked up a lot of Christian traditions in route, so it's really interesting to study the Alawite sect of Islam.
It's interesting to you, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, Alawites, they're like Muslims. I don't like what their beliefs are. We don't consider them Muslims.
yeah,
They call themselves Muslims, but they're basically what you say. Prophet peace be upon him, Muhammad had a cousin, Hazrat Ali. He was our fourth caliph, you know. So they follow him, you know. They consider him to be a god. but secretly. And with us Muslims, same as Christians, we believe in one God. There is one God. Like that's our primary belief. Like we don't like include anybody in the vicinity of a God. There is
Mm-hmm.
just one God. You guys got God, we call Allah, same thing. And the main core of being a Muslim is there is one God, and Muhammad, peace be upon him, was the last messenger of the God. You know, that's it. After him, no messenger or prophet came up from the God. That's our core belief.
So
With the
the
yeah,
Alawites believe that Ali was another prophet or greater than a prophet.
they they consider him like in their secret thing. They won't say that openly, but even they're kind of Shia Muslims, but even the Shias are like what they're saying. They
Uh-huh.
go too extreme. Too extreme in that thing. They consider Ali to be his thought to be greater than the God, and they keep their. If you see, you won't find any Alawite scriptures or their literatures or religion literatures nowhere because they're that secret about them.
They are a
Their
closed
religion.
sect. They don't really
Exactly.
grow in numbers either. I mean, well, look at it. Syria is ruled by an Alawite family, and
Alawite.
that was done by design. That was done. The French and the British got together and said, "Well, put the smallest group in
Well,
charge. That way,
actually,
they'll never."
Syria was given to an Arab, like a Hashmi family, actually.
Was he?
Syria and Jordan, they were given to, yeah, like they helped British to fight Ottomans
Uh huh.
when the in Saudi, now it's Saudi Arabia. There it used to call it was I guess I'm forgetting about him. It was King something. No, I can't remember his name. The current king of Jordan is from his defendant and a descendant. His father was his son. And the same family was had the kingdomship of Syria at that time after the division. And then there was a military coup, and some general took over. Then Bashar al-Assad's father, he
Uh
took
huh.
over, and
Wasn't he a
then
dentist?
no, he Bashar al-Assad's father was an Air Force pilot, I guess. He was in Air
Oh,
Force.
Those
well
Air
then
Force
Yeah,
guys.
then Bashar was a dentist.
yeah. I don't know about that. I know I've read about Bashar, but I cannot recall what exactly he
If I
was.
remember, I think he was a practicing dentist or something like that. And
Uh,
then, well, the
so
Yazidi, they have an odd religion too. The Yazidi, they worship. They don't worship. I don't know. They believe in kind of a swan angel or something like that. Is that right?
actually, I haven't like ever read about Yazidis since this ISIS conflict. I never knew they were Yazidis.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
I was
I'm not a religious person either. I grew up Mormon, but I have no religion. But I enjoy studying
yeah,
it, and
yeah,
I think religion, the study of religion, especially ancient religions, gives you the best. Man, we are way off track on
Just
this
a
show.
little bit. Just saying.
But just to finish this up, it gives you the best kind of picture of a civilization in that moment.
exactly. And their culture,
Yeah.
everything, it's based upon the religion.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
Well, and they mix. Religions change according to culture as well.
and the best thing about the world today is we can talk as gentlemen
Mm-hmm.
about our own views.
Yep.
We can get to know about the other views, and you can choose best what is best for you.
Yep.
Like if we go 100 years back in the day, like we would be fighting over a cup of tea. Like people, like a lot of killing have happened. What we are discussing about, on
Yeah.
these type of discussions, a lot of killings has happened. Now the world have come to this place that we could talk about it.
And it's not
Like on
enforced like it was under Roman rule. under Roman rule, religions were forced to get along because legionaries were
No.
everywhere.
If you can go back like 50 or 60 years, like 100 years go back, you couldn't talk that openly about anything,
No, no, you couldn't.
and everybody was segregated. So that was the design. You stay in your own people, you don't go poke around other people's business.
So to get back to the war, Dave's over here fuming at me.
Well, actually, you know what? I wanted to point out, though, I mean, if you really want to go to the root of the religion, the Ten Commandments are said to come from the Book of the Dead. Did you know that?
Yeah, well, I'm sure they're even older than that. I mean, those are, if you look at the commandments, well, okay, the last 4 of them are pretty common sense things that you need to have tribal cohesiveness.
Yeah, well, I just watched that on National Geographic.
Yeah.
Something about
I'm sure
Moses actually took from the Book of the Dead to make the commandments.
he may have.
And spooked them up a bit.
Moses lived a long time with the Pharaoh.
Yeah, well, maybe he was a pharaoh. They had all sorts of theories. But let's go back to Artsakh
Yeah.
and Azerbaijan. So the Azerbaijanis have had their honor insulted. So the people of Azerbaijan are forcing their government to go to war with these Armenians over there in this new region called Artsakh. And there's a pipeline. So we have the oil factor in there. We have the Muslim pride and an infusion of great weaponry from Turkey, because Turkey has great weapons. They really do. But has anyone consulted the people of Artsakh what they want? Do they want to go back to Azerbaijan? Do they want to remain independent and seek recognition? Or do they want to even become Armenia? Like, has anyone reached out to the people in that region before we let loose the cannons of war to see what they want? And I guess, to me, that would be the most important question, because you shouldn't treat people like slaves unless you expect for a great revolt to happen upon your children, because that's what we're going through here in America right now. I mean, okay, Azerbaijan takes over that area, unless they're going to purge everybody, then they're going to have to expect a great reckoning.
Well, I would like to, give some views about what you just said, asking the people of the region. Those people, they were settled over there, right? Like someday, like some people in New Orleans, they rise up. They say, we want different country. We don't follow, or we don't want to stay with the United States,
You know that happened once down there.
But you want it. You want, give them independence, all right, do a plebiscite, let's have a referendum, take away that part of the area. Like, what if a lot of Mexicans comes up in California, they start saying, this is our country, we ain't gonna live with that.
Good.
If you go, the law of the land is, if it's your land, no matter who is settled, if you don't like the rules, leave that place. Same goes with the states. Like, if I don't agree with the rules and regulation of United States of America, I better should leave. I should go where I fall in, where I can do my kind of thing.
Well, wasn't Pakistan part of India?
Yeah.
Do Indians have
And
pride?
what happened? If you see my ancestors, they're from India. I'm an ethnically Rajput,
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was British divided us, Our country was made, and my grandfather and great grandfather, they migrated to Pakistan, right? And this was a whole country, one country. People migrate because we at that time, and there were army officers over there.
There was a huge migration when Pakistan and India was separated.
And the same thing is happening, in Kashmir right now.
Yeah,
Why
Kashmir.
Pakistani people? We are supporting our Azerbaijani brothers, just because they need moral support. Like we're giving them moral support. Like the same thing is happening in Kashmir. Majority population over there are Muslims, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they choose. You guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, they choose to go with Pakistan. Like, and there were
Mm-hmm.
UN resolutions on that this is a disputed territory, not a part of Pakistan or a part of India. And they choose to be part of Pakistan, and they're still fighting for their right till today, and a genocide is happening there. What happened in the Nagorno-Karabakh, in the war, bad things happen. Shit happens in the war. People get killed. Civilians get killed. If you just take about 10 years back, Americans, they're so-called they're like American army, like American forces. We consider them to be the most civilized armed forces in the world. They won't do anything. But Abu Ghraib happened, didn't
Yep.
it? Shit happened. In the war, it's the worst thing could happen to any region. God forbid, happen anywhere. People loses their stuff, they lose their uh, like whole life. They've worked so hard for those stuff, and they lose them. They lose their relatives. They lose their morals. And the same. And we as a Pakistani people, our ancestors, they lost all their dignity, all their life saving, and they migrated to a country for a hope. Like we are Muslims and we're gonna live in peace over here. And the good thing about Pakistan is, this country isn't just for Muslims. It's for all the Pakistanis. And, Christians got the same right, Hindus got the same right,
Mm-hmm.
Muslims got the same right.
Yeah,
But
Pakistan is a
if you go to
Pakistan's an
like if
interesting
we
country. They're a strong country, well, and Pakistan's also has states a lot like the United States does, where
yeah, we
each
got
state
four states.
kind of operates differently.
And the shit happened, why? Just because of Afghanistan, what happened 1980s, that we were helping Americans,
Mm-hmm.
to get rid of Russia, because the next target was Pakistan
Yep.
after Afghanistan. We would have been under the claw of the Russian beer at that
Yep.
time, and we had to help it. Like our president at that time said, this is not the war of Afghanistan. This is war for survival of Pakistan.
Yeah, it's
So what
the
I'm saying, back to the subject, like Azerbaijan, what they have, that's their region. If you go by any, um, if you go by the UN resolutions, international laws, that's their part of that. That region is part of their place. They never committed genocide of Armenian people in Nagorno-Karabakh outside the wartime period.
mm-hmm.
You cannot say about the wartime period shit didn't happen. Shit happened on the both side. They kicked. How come if Armenia was so what you say like they were playing by the book, there must have been at least some people of Azeri, some Azeri people living in Nagorno-Karabakh. Nobody's living over there. Not even a single Azeri is living in Nagorno-Karabakh. They have left that region. Why? Because shit happened over there. All right. So that's the point why we or Turkey, why we are supporting them, because it's part of their land. And Pakistan are not involved physically over there. Pakistan government is not involved over there, but morally we're supporting them. It's a cause. On the other hand, like there are a lot of Azeri people in Iran. Iran is supporting Armenia in that region just because of the world politics.
Yeah,
And why this war is happening? Because gas, a lot of gas to Turkey is getting from Azerbaijan. They want stability in this region.
Yeah,
And as me and David, we were talking about that in our chat, that I said by peace is, I don't remember my exact love, my word. I said the peace is gained by the sacrifices, through war. Wars are fought to gain long-term peace, that. So that the thing, what is happening over there in the region is for the long-term peace, so that everything is stable over there. Like if they get that region or some settlement happen on the region through world pressure, the stability will come in that area.
traditionally though, we don't gain a lot of peace through war. I mean, we can go back to World War One. The end of that was just a 20-year armistice that brought, well,
By World War II,
the
it
deadliest,
it, uh, it got you
and also
long-term peace in Europe.
it gave us uh, Vladimir Lenin, which then gave us Stalin, which also gave us Mao, uh, probably the deadliest human being to ever reign over any area in the world, which gave us Pol Pot.
Well,
So I don't know if I see. I'm looking around and
well, if
I haven't seen war bring peace. I've seen war subdue people for a minute, but then the war comes back. And
yeah,
and
and
yes, right now, I mean, between Azerbaijan and Turkey, um, one of their greatest enemies is Iran. And
yeah.
and that's economic politics. I don't know if that has anything to do with territory or religion. That's just economic politics. Whose side of the World Bank do you sit on?
Actually, Azeris are much closer to Iran than to
Mm-hmm.
To the Turkey in terms of religion, because Turkey, it's Sunni Muslims. Most of them are
Mm-hmm.
Sunni Muslims, all right? Azeris are basically Shiite Muslims, and they were close, but Iran, have certain geopolitical missions in that region, and it do its own kind of diplomacy over there, like, you know and the fun part is, like, Hezbollah is supporting Armenia through Lebanon.
Well,
That's that's
it's
the funniest thing.
economic. It's economic. It has nothing to do
Yeah,
with religion
yeah,
on those levels. It's
nothing to do
all,
with the religion.
who do you sell your oil to, or who do you buy your goods from? Because look at
Yeah,
us. At one time, we were buying arms from Iran to sell to South American drug lords for drugs, to bring
yeah,
up to sell the drugs, to buy more arms
yeah,
from Iran, and just shave a little bit on each pass.
yeah. But one thing I would like to say on this forum, like, Americans should understand that every region have its own culture,
Mm-hmm.
own type of people. You guys, to you guys, a democracy suits you, all right?
No, I'm not a fan of democracy.
But I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
if you say European people, or American people, they're highly educated in a sense, and democracy suits them, right?
Mm-hmm.
To us, you know, in Pakistan,
Oh, we're stalling a little bit. He'll come back around.
Oh, that sucks. I was looking forward to this.
Yeah. Anytime you slap democracy, I'm kind of happy.
Well, what do you want? A dictatorship?
I don't know. All I know is that how is it justified that 51% of the population can vote to take your life?
Saim, we lost you, just so you know.
Yeah.
Now, I know for a fact that the internet in that region of the world is horrible.
In some places, yeah. Well, there's some places here in the States it's horrible,
Well,
I mean,
I'm just saying the power
Yeah.
goes out on intervals over in that section of the world.
Yeah.
At least it used to.
I mean, how
when I-
would it be to be in Los Angeles, the height of American pinnacle life, and you got rolling brownouts? Internet's bad there too. I mean,
in L.A.?
Oh yeah.
Rolling brownouts, huh?
Oh yeah.
Must be that environmental policy.
Yeah, I'm sure it's little column A, a little column fire. All right.
Hey,
Well,
sorry,
we
I got two internet connections. Was one goes off, I got the another one. So,
you got to
like
play.
if over here, if the electricity goes off, one
Mhm.
tower of a thing is closed, so I got the other one.
Yeah. Hey, you gotta figure out how to defeat the shortcomings of the environment.
Yeah, yeah,
So you were
and
saying about how Pakistan, the kind
or
of
or the
political.
region, the Muslim, like Middle East. We come up from the same culture.
Hmm.
Well, like we are, if you see genetically, we are from the subcontinent, Indian subcontinent, but our culture is more closer to Arabs or Turkish. We have the similar like culture, because of the religion. Our
Hmm.
the like religion affects our life too much. We like that's how we are brought up, and we are given certain there's certain characteristics in a person, like in a Muslim or us, that it's uniquely, similar to Arabs as well, to Turkish people as well, because of our religion, since we are kids, no matter where we are, how modern we are, how westernized we are, but we got a little bit of that thing. The thing is, we look up to strong people,
A, s-
man with the iron fist.
a strong monarchy.
Otherwise otherwise we will be a pain in a in a nice guy's ass. That's
Yeah.
how we are. Actually, we are like that.
Yeah.
If
Well.
I'm not okay with someone, I'm gonna bug him. I'm gonna bug the shit out of him. And that's what is happening with us. We are so-called democracies in Arab world or in Pakistan.
But
Well.
And
let, let, let me say this.
all we do, yeah.
Why should it be tolerated? I mean, like, you're right. I think the Muslim culture is very militant, and I think it's
Well,
very aggressive. I think, but the only weird thing is, I'm okay with that. But the weird thing is, it's almost like they expect us to be tolerant of that, and that's where maybe the Arab blood in me kind of boils, because for me, I would say if you're aggressive, you're a threat to my family, and you should be put down.
well, if you say aggression in a sense of when we are at war, okay, what people call, like, if there is a if it's a war, there's a certain rules of engagement, all right? That's how you got to do it, certain things, all right? So our religion instruct us, when you're in a time of a war, you got to do certain things, all right? The first rules, like before in the war, there were no rules. You can kill anybody, you can rape anybody, you can capture anybody, get them as a slave, it was it was like that. But when Islam came up, I'm not gonna preach here, but I'm telling you the basic things. People say Sharia law. Oh, Sharia law is evil. Sharia law is so militant. It reeks of the blood. It's not like that. Sharia law tells you how to cut your nails, how to wear your slippers. Like, it's the whole life. People just like to, like, if I'm going to see a negative aspect of somebody, I'm just going to focus on that, but I'm going to leave the whole bigger picture of that. That's
Well.
our problem.
Even if
Like,
you look
we
at
we comment
most
we comment on
religions,
Islam,
most religions have
like,
a full a law that boils down to the smallest details of your life. I mean, you got the book of Deuteronomy and Leviticus that they really boil down on what mixtures of material you can wear in your clothing. So I wouldn't say Islam is an oddity in that. I wouldn't say that at all.
well, if a religion tells you how to wear a slipper, like how to lead your life, how to do business,
Mm-hmm.
how to do how to treat prisoners of war, how to treat your slaves before, like, if you see Spartacus, how they used to treat slaves at that time. It gives
What
you a picture,
what was
how
it?
how bad.
140 miles of a man crucified every mile.
Yeah, like
Romans.
if you see the barbarity of the civilized cultures in that era,
Mm-hmm.
Islam came up as a beacon, Christianity never like we believe in Christianity because we to be a Muslim we have to believe in Jesus Christ. We
Yeah,
have to believe in Moses.
his name's
It's
Isa in Islam, isn't it?
sorry,
Isaiah.
Isa, that's Jesus.
Isa, Hazrat
Isa,
Isa,
yeah.
and we call him Hazrat Isa, peace be upon him. We gotta say him. We gotta treat them with the same respect as our prophet.
Mm-hmm.
And it is because it's a whole lineage. First Adam came up, then the whole thing. Um, Abraham and everybody. Hazrat Isa, Hazrat Musa. They came up. And they spread their
I
religion.
we're gonna have you back on another day for a religion talk.
Yeah, I would, I
Yeah,
would, I would, and
I
I would love to give like the like my life. I've been blessed, and the good thing is I've lived with born again Christians. They were trying to convert me to back in England. I used to my housemates were like born again Christians. And
uh-huh.
they used to take to me church every Sunday. To see how nice they are, and they were super nice people, And in that era, I researched upon each and every religion I came in touch with, myself being a born Muslim, and I got to learn about other cultures. There are certain way Americans think, certain way British people think, certain way French think, certain way Spanish think. All right, everybody have their own culture, but why you guys are so connected, and you can find a connection because it's through your religion,
Yep.
and to coexist with each other, like me or you, we have to first understand where we coming from. If you're gonna misunderstood us, and like Dave said that why I gotta like tolerate them. I'm not saying to tolerate my any shortcomings from our side, but just read the religion from A to Z. Try to understand it. Try to understand it. In what context they're saying kill the non-believer? In what context they're saying it isn't saying that I'm gonna just come up, you're a non-believer, and I'm gonna stab you from the knife, cut you open. I won't say that's not written. Like we gotta be nice to our people, Like if you like same thing. If we go into the religion talk, I can I can tell you more about it. Like in Holy Prophet, something happened. The Jews did something, and he said, "Okay, they're gonna be judged by their own book, not by the rules of Muslims, So they're, if you see, like Muslim people, they're super nice people. Like obviously, Dave have met a lot of Pakistanis. They're nice people, We're not there to kill anybody, but we do have nutcases, all right. And to find, if you see with the like, if I'm gonna do something wrong or I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna say I did that because of that. All right. Same with the terrorists. We also have nut jobs, all right. Only American doesn't have nut job. We're gonna go there and kill a whole lot of school people, kids in the school. Like he have a reason. He say, "Oh, they bullied me. They did that. He
Uh,
did that."
I seem
So
to
what?
remember
When a
we had a bombing in when was it? 92? I was in the army at the time, and
yeah,
I seem to remember a bombing in Oklahoma that
yeah,
you know,
Oklahoma,
yeah.
exactly. I remember.
So
I was seeing that documentary at that like
It
about
was
a
an
year
IRS
ago.
building.
well, it was a federal building, Murrow Federal Building. It housed everything. Housed a little bit of ATF, a little bit of Secret Service, a little bit of CIA, a little bit of FBI, and a little bit of.
Child care development.
It did have a child care.
Nothing like
Well,
putting your children right there
yeah.
in the middle of a federal target.
Well, and that was an interesting time. We could dive into that one day. That when I speak of the fear of the right wing, those are the guys I speak of, because There's years before that when they were committing bank robberies. They were doing a lot of stuff. But anyways, what I want to know about this region there is let's say Azerbaijan conquers it. They throw the Armenian military out and everything else. Is that then going to be a holdable piece of real estate? Or is that just going to be a 10 or 20 year armistice that is constantly going to take Azerbaijan off their development? Azerbaijan is developing, then they go to war, and if they don't stall their development, it actually knocks them back. All their plans they have of international growth kind of gets put on hold when the rest of the world looks at you and goes, okay, what the hell is going on? We don't want to talk to you right now. You see what I'm saying? And
Yep.
and I think what that's going to do is Azerbaijan will start, gaining everything else, and then an uprising, maybe they quell it, maybe they get thrown out again. But one thing they are doing while they do this, they're going into debt. The nation is going into debt. The nation is going into debt for weapons, for fuel, for all that stuff. And that just steps them back. And then they'll try it again. So I would say, if Azerbaijan, if you're listening, figure out some diplomacy. Figure out how you can work out a deal with them. You might be able to find a deal where you make money off of it instead of spending money, spending blood, spending lives, filling up your cemeteries.
Now, what kind of government is Azerbaijan?
I guess it's a democracy, but
I think it's it's a parliamentary system over there, isn't it?
yeah, and it's a very very government controlled situation over there. Like they don't have that media, independent media over there, and I guess it's if to be precise, it's pro-establishment. There is establishment which is controlling everything over there. They decide about it, and then they do it the way the establishment wanted. So
What
like,
about Artsakh? What kind of government was that?
Ursa, Karabakh?
Yeah.
You talking about Karabakh?
The
Karab-
disputed region. It was an autonomous region.
Yeah. Artash, yeah, Artash. That's the main. Yeah, I guess it's a dummy government over there. It's just like you have in Crimea, just like the Russian got in Crimea. It's a government like that. They look up to the Armenia, and all their affairs are dealt foreign policy or something. It's all dealt with the Armenian government over there. So, and if you say like Armenian as a society over there, like what I've heard and what I've gone through the literature, they're pretty segregated people. Like if you go to Azerbaijan, you're gonna still find Russians over there. You're gonna find Iranian people over there. Like they're super cool people. Like I've been to Baku for vacations, and hell, man, it's an amazing place to be. And Armenia is kind of segregated. Like they're super religious, and they're really segregated. And let me remind you, there were Armenia supported. There was a whole Nazi SS squad, for Armenia. So they're pretty supremacist kind of. They have that kind of thinking about it. That they're that, they're this, you know. So they're super segregated kind of people.
You do get quite a bit of that. I do believe a little bit of that bleeds over from when towards the end of World War One, when Turkey gathered up the Armenians and marched them out. But they also gathered the Armenians. It's a tough subject to talk about but the Armenians kept themselves segregated. And away from the general culture, so they were looked at as outsiders by the Young Turks.
yeah, like they like to be in their, they want to be like,
Mm-hmm.
you're a race, no interracial thing or something like that.
Yep. One
But
second,
if you go,
I gotta open the door. Got me another one of those.
You sure can.
All right. Sorry about that. I'm back. I'm just wondering. I don't know. And granted, we're talking with you. I'm just wondering if there is a path to peace. Now, I do. I personally, being from my odd political persuasion, I would like to see. I would like to see the region be able to decide how they live and what style of government they're under one way or the other. I would like to see that happen, but
It doesn't seem profitable for war these days in modern society because you're going to be ostracized from the community around you if you're aggressive. It just seems like the natural thing to do to ostracize somebody who's aggressive.
well, that's you can see that happening right now. Azerbaijan has drawn a lot of negative attention towards itself. Has that come across in possible deals they had coming up? Economic deals. Has any of those economic deals been stifled or shut down because of this? And that's a question. I don't know enough about the subject to know if that's happened, but we wouldn't be talking about them if it wasn't for this.
Yeah.
well, I think that why Azerbaijan started this war. I guess this started this war to reach upon an agreement, get something out of it, like either they get half or something out of it,
Mhm.
like because peace talks were not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Like I guess they created this situation to get a solution for it. What I believe, and that's what they're looking like. If international community pressurize, they say, okay, listen, Armenia, Azerbaijan, you guys got to do this. So I guess I think, I personally, what I feel, like I got this gut feeling that they want the international community to resolve the situation and reach upon a conclusive solution for this long-term issue. And that's why I guess Turkey is helping them out because they have a lot of like they expect a lot from our Azerbaijan. Like their main interest is that gas. And if this conflict fired up, and now if you see like Russia is involved, China is involved,
Mhm.
Iran is involved, United States is involved, but
Mhm.
during the elections they're not that much involved. But after the election, obviously, if President Trump wins or anybody, if Joe wins, whoever wins, they're gonna sit down and they're gonna say, do this thing, like that kind of situation, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, and I'm sure. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't want to bring the
Or
international
or if
community in to
and like
decide for
they're
me.
playing this kind of game. Like if they capitulated on Nagorno-Karabakh, Azerbaijan got its land back, right? And
Well,
if it's a stalemate, all international players going to be involved, and
mhm.
they're going to be okay. No more war, right? Let's decide this thing. They're going to pressure Azerbaijan through financial thing and to Armenia as well. Like let's decide
Yeah.
about it.
Well, I can
So I
see your
guess a
point on
peaceful.
that too. Whereas if Azerbaijan just rolls over for this, then they stand the chance of all the nations around them, Iran to the south, all of them saying, we're going to come in and
Georgia to the north.
Georgia to the north, we're going to come in and we're going to boost a sliver off your land. So I guess I understand that point as well. But if a stronger nation
And
comes in,
the fun part is Georgia is supporting Azerbaijan actually
yeah, well, yeah,
instead of
Georgia's an
Armenia.
interesting place.
That's the fun part.
Georgia is that's 5 shows just to talk about Georgia's political and religion and culture, because Georgia is the Christian tribal side where they still have a lot of honor and honor
Yeah.
killings and things like that. I mean, they are.
Actually, they lost part of their part to Russia in that war in
Mhm.
back in 2000. I guess it was 11 or 12
Yeah,
or 10.
yeah.
I don't remember that.
Well,
Ostia or something.
yeah, it started right after Putin ascended.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
that's when the Georgians took that school, and well, the Spetsnaz took care of everyone in that school, and then put it on the
Well,
ground.
yeah. And, but see, Georgia now, like they're doing pretty well for them.
They are
Like
they.
one of one of my buddy, he used to tell me Georgia was like a shit hole, like people were carrying guns in back of the trucks, there were militias and everything. And now, if you see, it seems like a proper modern, European country, like
Yeah.
they have come up the long way, like really, really, they have developed their country, man. Like you cannot believe what in the past it used to be, what people say about it.
Well,
If you see,
it's all interacting.
same
It,
goes for the
it's all about interaction. If you come from a place that's really aggressive, and of course just ended up leaving the Soviet Union under force of arms, anyway, so you come from a place that's really aggressive, but you start interacting with people that come to the table and say, I've got money for you. I've got gold to get what I want. We don't need to fight over this. I've got gold, or I've got, food stuff. I got trade. Then they start adopting, the economic model. They come face to face with, because let's face it, we all want to eat, you know,
yeah.
and that's just
And
anywhere you go.
and like see that region, they say it's a democracy, but it was the I cannot remember the name of the president. Like he run like he took Georgia iron fisted. Like he said,
Uh,
okay, these are the policy. We're gonna involve ourselves
Give me a
like
minute.
that.
I'll remember his name.
I don't remember the guy's name.
Yeah.
The president of Georgia?
He was
He was
he was I think he was he Romanian? Was he the Romanian president? Anyways, if we're talking about the same guy, at the end of the Soviet Union, him and his wife stood up against a statue while they were executed. And I'll remember his name after the show's over.
I'm sure that
it'll come
happened a
right to
lot
me.
over there in the Russian region.
It did. It did. Of course, you had Tito. Tito was very interesting. Tito was the one guy who would stand up to the Kremlin. He'd stand up to Stalin and say, "No, I'm not doing that."
They still sell coffee cups in Serbia with his picture on it.
Yeah, as they should. Tito was a very interesting guy. Yeah, but I'm just wondering if there's and maybe that's what Azerbaijan is doing now that you mention it. Maybe they're just trying to get one of the big strong powers in the region or internationally to come and say, this is what's going to happen, because then they get to have peace and save face. Because they can go to their people and say, look, we were strong enough that we brought this big guy in, say Putin or the United States or Great Britain or, or Germany, whatever. We brought one of them in to establish the dictated lines. And so we were strong enough. We got this for us, and, we made our voices heard. And because if Azerbaijan is doing this just to kind of appease the honor of their people, then I guess I understand. I don't agree with it. I think it's because I don't like the thought of just a whole bunch of young men getting thrown away. I don't know. Though, who knows? Maybe it'll make it so that
that's what it's war about.
Yeah. Well, what war does is just makes it so the men that don't go to war get better picks on chicks. Yeah,
It's true.
Touché.
So I don't know. I don't know how do How do you square that circle? But that tends to be what happens.
Well, that's how you genetically breed the aggression out of the human race too. I mean, let's face it, as wars have occurred throughout history, the Homo sapien has become more docile. I mean,
Could be true. Yeah.
It is a fact. It's well documented.
Yeah.
And you can do this experiment with animals too. If you breed angry foxes together, you get super angry foxes. If you breed docile foxes together, you get house cats or something. Yeah. So
I don't know. It hasn't seemed to work for the United States because we went to World War II and we haven't stopped.
Well, we've been accepting of higher taxes. I mean, 3% back when our forefathers. Now we're at like 50%. We're pretty docile.
Well, I don't know. We tend to commit to a new war every 7 minutes anymore. I think Eisenhower, Trump was the last one not to commit us to a new war, but we were already involved in 7. So why, he was probably looking for a place. Couldn't find a piece of real estate to invade. Everywhere.
Trump had his opportunities. It's going to be game on once Biden gets into office. We'll probably bomb another Muslim country to death. And
Biden, you think Biden's going to make it till January?
Oh, I'm sorry, Kamala Harris.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. But hey, thanks for coming on, man.
That would. Yeah, thank you.
This is a good chat. I like it. And I may not be a follower of any faith, but man, I love talking religion. I know it probably drives Dave crazy half the time.
I love talking about Islam. I mean, it's the one religion I've been kind of like pointed at by the military for how long now, Plus, it's where my ancestors come from on my father's side is the Middle East. So I got a special love-hate thing for it. So anytime you can get someone of the Muslim faith to come on and talk candidly and not be offended by anything that we say and be able to express his point of view in a civilized conversation, I think it's a blessing. I think it's a great thing. And I miss those conversations.
What I like, I understand, what non-Muslims, they have certain insecurities about my religion, and the best service I could do to my religion is like to clarify the misconceptions people have about it, what exactly it's about it, and that's a blessing, I can say like in a nicer way, or if I can clear some misconception of a person, that's the best thing I could do to anyone, clearing a misconception about it,
Yeah, and also if you approach criticism with your religion with confidence and without getting angry, but with no, this is what I believe and why I believe it, and you're calm, it's a better representation of your faith and your religion. Because if you get stressed about it, you look like, is there some internal conflict that's forcing you to react like this? Whereas if you approach it with confidence, like anything else in life, like business deals, if you approach them with confidence, structure,
exactly,
it goes better.
You get your point. You get your point. That's it.
Yep.
Like if the other person is taking it or leaving it, it's upon the consequences.
Yeah.
So you got to be chill about it.
Yeah.
So nice talking to you guys about it. And,
any final words on the conflict in between Azerbaijan and Armenia?
Well, from bottom of my heart, I would say like this killing stops, and I hope Azerbaijan gets their piece of land, which is internationally recognized, because it's a matter of honor, like it's a matter of national pride, and we feel it like as a Pakistani, I feel like, if somebody is on my land, you got to be out, and but I hope, for better good of this global scenario, like this killing must stop, and I hope it comes up to a peaceful resolution.
Maybe all these alien sightings we've had lately, the Tic Tac flying saucers, maybe they'll come down in force and we can get a new enemy and we can unite as humans
Hopefully,
and forget about our terrestrial territorial arguments and turn ourselves towards
Space Force.
yeah.
I hope Space Force is gonna
Yeah.
be.
Space Force.
Maybe they'll take me. I can be a private janitor on a space station or something.
A rocket janitor.
Yeah, I can run a space mop.
All right. Well, my final thought on this is just remember Constantinople used to be a Christian empire. Someone's pride could have got hurt there too, but you don't
someone's
see...
pride did get hurt there. There was a lot of war fought after. I mean, Justinian tried his hardest to gain that back.
But eventually we just said, we have to draw a line and call it Turkey, and I'd like to think that at some point in civilized society we can say that a country is not a living person, but living people are, and whether or not you're from farm 1 or farm 2, we shouldn't be killing each other over some flag.
Yeah. Well, imagine. Here's a thought for Azerbaijan and Armenia. Imagine if they put their differences aside and joined forces and joined forces economically and see what they could do together.
Imagine.
Double it. And,
Imagine.
I mean, that would make them a pretty large and powerful economic force in that area of the world. And then they would have to answer higher. Then Turkey would come to them for advice.
I don't know about that, but they'd definitely be more beneficial for society if they were working together than opposed.
That is an interesting part of the world. That's crossroads of the world right there.
Yep.
That's all that area there. It's where Asia, Africa, and Europe all roads go through that area.
That area, yep.
And that's why it's always contested. Always.
But that's kind of impossible, due to the historical, scenario of that area. As like Turkic people and Armenian couldn't get along.
I know.
Like they are rivals. They can never get along, and they have a long history about it. They had a lot of wars in that region.
Forever.
Like,
you know what? Over here, conservative Turks and conservative Armenians don't even get along when they're 2 generations separated over here. Now, liberal Turks and liberal conservatives or liberal Armenians tend to get along because they don't have any historical memory.
Same thing about it, what happened in the past. It happened in the past. Why take grudges, all along? You got to live your life. That's what happens. And that's the only way to move ahead, for a brighter future, Otherwise, you can fight wars, you can hold grudges, people are going to get killed. And if you win, you're going to achieve your things, achieve your goals. If you're going to lose, you're going to be ashamed, but that grudge you will hold about it.
Yeah. Well, the problem even is when you win, you're going to fight it again. It always happens. Yeah. So I got to ask you, what's that picture behind you? That looks like a James Bond picture, speaking of Sean Connery just passing away a couple days ago.
Yeah.
It's got a lady leg and a guy in a suit. I like it.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is a farmhouse, and I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
If any kind of civilization is about 30 kilometers, like it's just a farm house I live with. I don't actually live in the city. Like I live 7.5 hours away from this place. I'm a government officer over here.
Uh-huh.
I'm chief executive of a municipal committee over here. So, like you guys got city managers, I'm a city
Mm-hmm.
manager over here. So I'm posted over here, and today I'll go back to home, go back
You're
to
just
Karachi.
you're just
I'm gonna
checking on one of
see
your
civilization.
you're checking
This is
on
all
one of your
tribal land.
areas.
This is all tribal land.
Yeah.
And I got amazing pictures. I'll show you. I've just settled this. Let me show you amazing pictures I got. See, I got this movie kind of stuff.
Oh, look at that. You've got some Pulp Fiction up there.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
got
Is it
Reservoir Dogs. I
yeah,
got that Bad,
oh,
Ugly, Good
the
thing,
good, the bad and the
Clint
ugly.
Eastwood. Yeah.
You've got Die Hard up there
Yeah, actually everything. I got the Django.
and the
I got
Abide.
Velvet,
That's
everything.
from They Live, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
man, look at that. So
And
this
that's
is
the deer. That's the deer hunted, stuffed over here. See?
yeah,
Can you see it?
yeah, I
Yep.
see the deer.
Yep.
Now, do you hunt that there?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. If my deer was in here, I'd show you my deer. I hunt mule deer over here.
And that's the bar over here. That's the bar.
Nice. Nice.
Yep.
I like it.
So yeah.
I
It's
like it.
it's see these I got these posters, the pub posters and everything. It's a nice place.
Yeah. Yeah, you got it decorated so you feel comfortable.
Yeah, like it's my actually this is the place of my mayor
Oh.
um, before. He's my mayor, the mayor of this town
Mhm.
is his place. So he have given it to me, so I feel comfortable, to
Nice.
live here around. So this is an amazing area in nowhere around.
Hey. Well, you know what? If you ever make it out to the U.S., look me up, and if it's during the
Yeah,
right
but
time of year.
I was there last December and I told Dave about it. Like I drove from York, Pennsylvania to Vegas, and then came back, all
Okay, so
the
you
way.
probably drove through a bit
Uh,
of Utah then.
Oh yeah.
yeah, I told him.
Salt Lake
Yeah.
City.
And I met amazing people on my way, It took about 4 days because I was
Uh-huh.
stopping by in every city,
Yeah.
partying and night. This is live or live is gone?
Oh no, we're live.
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, we're live. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So then I have to be careful. I
Yeah,
wasn't
tell all your
partying.
secrets,
I was being
Yeah.
a nice
Hey,
guy.
that's all right.
What
You know
goes
what?
to Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah, we'll chat again sometime. But if you come out this way, if it's
Yeah.
hopefully next
Actually,
year.
I was planning for this December. Like my mom was, like she was like, come, like I just got a son, and like after I came back, I had a son over
Congratulations.
here. Yeah. So I gotta take my son out there, to show my mom because like they haven't come back. Now she's saying she'll come back in February over here. But
Mhm.
we had this thing every December. I go there, and either we go to Florida or we go somewhere, we go to Canada to see our relatives over there, we drive down there.
Nice.
So yeah,
Nice. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
America is like second home to me now because my mom, she's American. My brothers, three brothers, they're American. My sister is American. My dad, he's American. So like it's just like second home now.
Good.
We own over there like we got 4 houses over there in York, our own houses. Like
Uh-huh.
in one they stay, another 3 they have rented out, and like a lot of like, and everything we took from Pakistan to there. So yeah, it's like our second home now.
Building some
So
capital.
yeah,
Yeah, I like it. That's the way to do life. Build capital.
Yeah.
Build something you can pass
Yeah.
on. Hopefully that opportunity doesn't get taken away from the people. But yeah,
Well,
when I'm done, I'll send you a picture of the deer I hunt.
Oh boy, here we
oh,
go.
all right.
Yeah,
I'll
because
I'll I'll send you. There's this markhor. It's a goat which is on it goes on the mountains and everything.
Like
It's
a
in
mountain goat or a mountain sheep, huh?
mountain goat. Yeah, it's really hard to hunt that.
Oh
I
yeah,
have that in my home in Karachi. I've stuffed that, and
nice.
then
I
yeah, I
love
got
hunting. That's my thing. Hunting and guns. That's my.
since when I was 2 years old, my dad used to take me to duck hunts, to deer hunts,
Yeah.
to partridges hunt, the quail hunting,
Yep.
and yeah.
I go hunting with my dad every 3 years. That's when they let us draw for a hunt here. You get a draw every
Oh,
three
all
years.
right.
So every 3 years, me and my dad we go out and.
Oh, in Pennsylvania, all you have to
Oh,
do
I
is like in the
know.
season, you have to get a license and just go.
I know. And then you have to.
Like,
I mean, in Pennsylvania and New York, they are paying professional hunters to come hunt. There are so many
yeah.
animals there.
I
But
hit
we're
a
out
deer
in the
in New
desert.
York.
Out in the desert,
Like
the
the
deer.
other day,
Our deer are bigger.
other day, all right.
Our deer
The
are
other day, in our backyard, I saw this huge. I don't know, it was a deer or a moose or something. I don't think so. It was a moose. It was a huge deer, over there. And I was like, Dad, shall we hunt it? My dad was like, you have to get a license to hunt this shit
yeah.
over there. Yeah, over here, if I see something, we just get our guns out,
Uh,
take it at home.
okay.
You don't need
Well,
a
I've
license.
got to move to Pakistan now.
It would be an interesting hunt.
We
I like it. I like it.
well, you trust me, it's an amazing country, and people are super nice about it. Like what our misconception is about, like we hate America, like all non-Muslims. No, the Pakistani people, if you compare us to the Indians, we are the least racist people ever. We don't like we are really hospitable. But yeah, if you go to the up north region, that's where the shit is going on. That's kind of dangerous area. Even I
Well,
don't go there, man.
I mean, we've got the same thing here in the States. You've got it in Canada. You've got it in Mexico. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's every nation has its trouble
It's shitty
spots.
area, man.
Yeah.
Like if you go to like in certain neighborhoods in New Orleans in the night, you cannot go there, man. Like
Yeah.
uh, one of my brother, he was a general manager of a motel, and I went there. Like I love hoods, I literally love hoods. I like to walk in, because I'm from a big city here, and we used to get mugged a lot, so I know to see signs for the like a potential mugging gonna happen. So there was this a cop like in the gas station. I was talking to a cop. He was like, "What the fuck you doing on your foot over here, man? You're gonna get fucking robbed." I
Yeah.
was like, "Man, I was exploring." And he was like, "No, you cannot. These areas, are you fucking crazy?" And that he was a nice guy. He dropped me back to my motel. He was like you're gonna get fucking robbed. So
Yeah.
yeah, shit. Like every country have its own shitty areas, man.
That's right. Everywhere has bad. Everywhere has good. Everywhere.
Yeah.
All right, man.
But
Thanks for coming
all right,
on, and
same here.
we'll have to chat
Thank
with you
you.
again sometime.
Sometime, sure,
We'll,
anytime.
yeah, we'll let Dave think of a subject, and then we'll jump in and ruin it.
Yeah,
for
I
him.
would love to contribute on international, relation
Yeah.
and like I read a lot, so
We'll talk
I would
Europe.
love to
I
contribute.
like Europe. Fascinates me. I go to France all the time, so
Yeah. Hey,
can-
that'd
we
be
can talk
great by
that one.
me. I've never been there. I've been to
About
Korea
France,
and
yeah,
Cuba.
it's a good, amazing place. I've been to France a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was right next to UK. I used to
Oh,
drive there.
there at Normandy area.
No,
All right.
like you get from Southampton, you get a ferry. You're in Calais. From Calais, you can go to 1 hour. You can go to Paris.
yep.
And
Mm,
then
The train,
yeah,
tunnel,
it's
tunnel. They call it the tunnel. I
yeah.
think.
The Channel Tunnel.
yeah,
All
the
right,
Channel
man.
Tunnel.
Well,
All
thanks
right.
again for coming on. Hopefully, we educated some of the listeners on what's going on over there. At least give them an
Yeah.
introduction and if they do want to make up their mind on how to make it up. And we may
Yeah,
not
it's all
see eye to
about them.
eye on it, but,
The news isn't going to talk about this because of the election. So, which is probably another good time to launch an attack is during the U.S. election. But yeah, this is the kind of stuff you're not going to hear about in the news right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a tough time. All right, man. Have a good night or a good day. It's
Inshallah.
nighttime for us.
At the start of my day, I have to go on my post, check
All right.
on all the shit going on there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
look for
we
a
have
picture.
an anti-encroachment drive right now. Like we have to, clear like encroachment from government properties. So yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah.
a tough day. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
All right,
You
man.
guys take care.
Thank
Hey,
you.
So
we'll talk to you
All right.
soon, man.
All right, buddy.
All right.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.